Okay, so welcome to this second video on this channel. So today we're going to cover how the internet works. Okay, we're going to cover really the basics of it. We're not going to get into the depths because even I don't know the depths honestly. I'm just going to explain what I know, and I'm just going to give you a basis for understanding the next few topics that we're going to be covering. So, how does today's internet basically work? When we access the internet, say you're on Google Chrome and you use a web URL to access any piece of content, right? I'm on this website right now and it says this is the URL. All right. So, here, when I see this URL, I can see this HTTPS, right? So, what is HTTPS or HTTP? HTTPS and HTTP are protocols. All right. So what are protocols? Protocols are basically how, just understand it like how anything functions is a protocol of that particular functioning system. All right. So with the web that we use, HTTPS is how it works. I don't really remember the entire the full form of this, but basically that is the name of the protocol that we use when we use Chrome or Firefox or any browser for that example. That is generally used in Web 2. Web 2 is basically the web that the majority of the population uses. Web 3 is different. Web 2 is basically what we use today. Say you want to go to YouTube or Facebook or Instagram on your desktop, and you want to access it, and that or your mobile browser. Anyhow, if you're doing it over the internet and you're accessing it through a browser, then it is through HTTPS. All right. Now, how does HTTPS actually work? When you enter a web URL here, that web URL is actually pointing towards a piece of content, right? So you know that everybody knows that. But how this works is it actually points towards the address of the piece of content. It's not the content itself. It is pointing towards the address of the content, and this whole thing here is basically addressing, and it is calling a particular piece of data in some server somewhere in the world, most probably owned by Google, and that is how we are able to access. I'm able to access this screen and I'm able to record this video right now. I'm actually using an online service, right? Streaming a recording software to record this. So I'm accessing it online. So I have to go to the correct. I have to point towards the uh, exact link or the exact service on some server that is there, and I have to access it. So we are basically talking about where a data lives, or where, or the particular address where a data exists on the internet or on any server for that matter, and that is where we get access to the piece of content or any service, right? Now, when there is no electric supply to the server, it cannot function. So all of these servers in Google or Amazon headquarters or anywhere, Microsoft, any of these servers, they have to keep running 24/7 if you want to access your whatever content you want to access 24/7, right? So that is how it works. If a server is down, it means that there's some, when you say that a server is down, it's either that it is not functioning properly, or there's not enough power, or there's some other problem right there. All right, but your data is basically safe, correct? That is basically what it means. When you say YouTube is down, it does not mean that all the content is erased off. It means that there's some problem with the server that you are accessing the data on YouTube through, right? So that is how this works. I mean, this is really basic stuff, guys. If you know all of this, then please feel free to skip all of these videos, all right? So I'm just explaining the basics to get to the next levels. So because it starts here, and it is going to scale up quite a bit. So that is how today's internet works. HTTPS is basically, it points towards the location, and this is called location based. Let's just call it location based accessing, because we are accessing a piece of data or information through the location, through the address. So basically, if you want to go to somebody's house, you don't look up there, you don't look there, you don't look up your um, contact book and you see their live location. You just see, where they live, and you go there, and then you meet them. So that is basically equivalent of HTTPS. You know the address and then you access it. It's not like you directly know where the piece of content is, right? And then servers. I explained what servers are. Servers are these basically huge pieces of computer hardware, and these things that are there in Google headquarters. And you can any office space that has servers, you can look up photos online, and that is how it works. These things actually store data, and that is where you access them to. So that's it for this video. These are very basic things. But if you watch it, then okay, well and good. And if you have any feedback, then please give feedback. If I've explained something wrongly, then please correct me in the comments. I'd very much appreciate it. um, all right, so thank you. Yeah.